it's a surreal situation. And I never felt that way. I knew immediately that it was a bullet. I knew immediately that it was at the ear.
Yeah.
And because it hit very hard, but hit the ear. And I also heard people shout, bullets, bullets, get down, because I moved down pretty nicely, pretty quickly. And we had bullets flying right over my head after I went down. So I'm glad I went down. The bigger miracle was that I was looking in the exact direction of the shooter. And so it hit me at an angle that was far less destructive than any other angle. So that was the miracle. That was for those people that don't believe in God. I think we got to all start thinking about that. You have to, I'm a believer now. I'm more of a believer, I think, and a lot of people have said that to me. A lot of great people have said that to me, actually.
Facts.
But it was amazing that I happened to be turned just at that perfect angle
that day,
and all because I put down a chart on immigration that showed that the numbers were so great. I love that chart even more
maybe
now.
It's a sign. Maybe that's a sign.
It's an immigration sign.
You highlighted a serious issue, and at that moment, the bullet missed your, hit your ear, but missed your head. I mean,
the amazing thing is that the sign, I said, bring down that sign on immigration, and it was literally about an eighth of a second where it would be good, and after that it was going to be a disaster, no matter which way you were facing. But it just had that perfect angle, which was exactly at this shooter. Very sad situation. Such a sad situation. As you know, we lost somebody that was great, Corey, who a firefighter,
and there's people
a
who
great
got the
gentleman,
nerve
a
to
great,
say that was
a great
scripted,
trumper.
that was planned.
Nah, facts though. It's disrespectful to even say. Like, even Destiny was wild as hell, saying F them. Anybody pull up to a Trump rally and get shot, I'm laughing at them. I was like, bro, that
said they deserve that for going to a Trump rally. Like, you signed up for that almost.
Bro, that's what we be not really liking about these Democrats. It's like, bro, we accept y'all, but y'all don't accept us.
But even if you just look at the shot, like, the margin of error that
was really small.
Bro, so to say that was planned or that was scripted is crazy.
It's like, okay, maybe they shot at him and it was just around him. Okay, but
they've interviewed professional snipers and even them have admitted, like, no way he's missing that shot. Like, that was supposed to hit him.
Bro, for real. And no way he's missing that shot with such accuracy.
Right.
He was just a fantastic family and a fantastic man. And a friend of mine came up, Elon, and said, I'd like to give the family some kind of help. And I said, all right, that's great. He said, do you mind? I said, I don't mind at all. And he wrote out a check for $1 million, gave it to the wife, and
ain't that
she said, this is really nice, but I'd rather have my husband back, which is a nice thing for somebody to say, to be honest. She's great. The family is great. And we raised a lot of money for them and for two other gentlemen are unbelievable people also. They were hit really badly. They thought they were not going to make it, and they did. The doctors in the Butler area, I tell you, they were
dark humor
incredible.
Joke, but
they saved the two, and they were really hit tough, both of them, equally. And we thought, my first question was, because I heard bullets flying over me, and I said, how many people were killed? Because we had a massive crowd there, a tremendous, thousands and thousands of people. And there was no land. I mean, it was all people. So I said, how many people have been killed? Because I knew there were other shots being fired. And they said, we don't know yet, but some people have been badly hurt. And I have to give the Secret Service a sniper, they call him, or sharpshooter, but sniper, because he didn't know there was a problem. He's an extraordinary shot, obviously, and he didn't know there was a problem. And he was able to pick it all out within 5 seconds. And he used one bullet from very far away, I guess probably about 400 yards. The shooter was 130, but he was on the opposite side of the field and the podium. And he saw the smoke and the flame from the gun, immediately recognized it, and immediately took a shot. And it was one perfect shot from very far away. And if he didn't do that, Elon, he would have. I mean, if he would have, a lot more people could have been badly hurt and killed.
Not gonna lie,
I have to take my hat off to him, because Bro, that's also a surreal.
You know, he's been
with them for 23 years.
Honest, he probably would have started picking people
he's never
off
had
just
anything
because
like
of the
this.
hysteria that
and
would
all
have been
of a sudden,
going on.
Bro, if I'm gonna lie, if the Secret Service didn't snipe that kid, like, bro, he'd just let off more and more shots to try to get him, and it'd end up hitting more and more people.
They found him with a lot of ammunition. He had plans of doing something crazy.
Yeah,
and there was explosives in his car as well.
Yep, he had the means. What can I say?
So he was on a mission.
And he has to act, and it's a very tough thing to act and to be shooting somebody.
Should have liked the video. Appreciate everybody tuning in as well.
He saw the gun, saw the smoke, saw the flame from the gun, very far away. Obviously has very good eyes. He's got very good vision, which I assume you have to have in that particular work. But he took aim very quickly, and they say it was approximately 5 seconds from long range, one bullet.
Damn.
If that didn't happen, because the shooter
probably
had a
felt
lot
like
of bullets,
an eternity,
he had a lot of cartridges up there with him. So,
well, I mean, that's clearly, he was very confident in taking that shot.
I know it was moving in slow motion.
The attempted assassination. But I mean, there does seem to be, some pretty significant failings elsewhere in the system. Like, there's just no way that, like, how on earth does a shooter get on a roof 130 yards away? That seems crazy. I think most people people are wondering how on earth could such a thing happen.
Well, I view it as two ways. There should have been nobody on the roof. There were people because there were so many tens of thousands of people there. There were people that were seeing him, and there was one woman with a red shirt and Trump all over it, and she's screaming. And that guy's got a gun. You saw it probably. There's a guy up there with a gun.
I mean, it's like
there were reports of citizens warning local police.
For my part, and I think probably
I believe
many members of the public are wondering
somebody was trying to
how the heck
access to the rooftop.
Yeah, a cop walked up there and he seen the guy, and I guess the guy spotted him and he slid back down. Was like, "Hey, yo, he's up there," but no, of course, nobody responded.
Yeah, funny enough, you just gotta imagine that situation. You got the shooter, Matthew, on the rooftop. The only access is by ladder. You climb the ladder, and he just points the gun at you. Yeah, what are you gonna do? You're gonna jump down. Yeah, nobody's gonna just take that bullet to the face. He's actually, funny enough, he actually severely injured his ankle too.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Basically, people wandering by, pointing out there's a guy on the roof with a gun. And they're seeing it, but somehow it's not being addressed.
Maybe.
That does seem crazy.
Well, they're going to learn from this. The communication between the local police, who sort of had an idea, and then ultimately a man lifted himself up to the roof, could barely do it because he was pulling himself up.
Cool.
And he saw the man with the gun. The man with the gun pointed the gun at him. He thought he was probably going to get shot. But, he was like pulling himself up. And because of that, he couldn't get to his gun. And he fell down, actually very badly hurt his leg, his ankle. I hear very badly. But he fell down. And he did, from what I understand, he did
that's
say
Trump right there verifying that story. Like, so you got to imagine, he's climbing by access of ladder.
I think
Matthew points the gun barrel directly at his face. It's like,
quicker. You're supposed to be a very good shot.
Yeah.
My sons, Don and Eric, they can't believe what happened, but they said from 130 yards, a bad shot would hit that target almost every time. They said it's like in golf, sinking a 2-foot putt.
Yeah, it's not a tough shot.
It's not a long shot. The Secret Service person had the long shot. He had triple the distance actually. So it was a terrible thing. It's hard. I have to say this about the Secret Service. When I went down, and I went down based on I think
make
they're
sure to like
screaming.
The video. Appreciate everybody tuning in.
But other people also, because people saw this happen. You had so many people.
Crazy.
One of the miracles was that nobody ran. I mean, if a gun goes off, the crowd control people showed us this. When guns go off, and it does happen in stadiums at a soccer match or some kind of a match, everybody flees. They call it a stampede, like cattle. But everybody, and a lot of people get killed with those stampedes.
Yeah, Sean, didn't you peep out like nobody moved? Like, wasn't that kind of strange? At the time of the shooting?
It did kind of change. I ain't gonna lie, things did switch up a little bit. But man, look, when the shot.
No, just like about how the crowd didn't really disperse. There wasn't really like I talked about hysteria.
Oh,
like
because he got hella fans, bro. They were trying to make sure bro was good. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. Because even when I seen it, I was like, yo, he good, he straight. Like, hey, bro, get up, man.
like, is he all right?
Oh God.
We had more people than you'd have at, some of these matches or these games, and nobody left. You had a small group behind us in the grandstand, and that was full. And you look at it as it was taking place, and normally they'd be running. They didn't leave. They saw that I was hurt. They saw a lot of blood, and they saw that I went down. And it's almost like they wanted to be with me. Well, out front, you had thousands, tens of thousands of people. As far as the eye could see, you had people in Butler, as far as the eye could see, and a lot of press too. There was, many cameras on watching this. It's what makes it so different, because normally things happen that aren't good, but you never have a picture of it. Here we have all these cameras shooting it, so sort of amazing. But one of the interesting things was that you didn't have anybody flee. You didn't have anybody stampede.
Sure.
Nobody. And there were some people behind me. They stood up and they're looking like, I'll tell you, you want to have them in a foxhole with you. I want to meet some of those people because it's so different from what you
die-hard support.
So I was down, but the Secret Service guys, there were bullets flying right over my head. You could hear.
You could by comparison, it's actually funny. Like, Kamala's base is fair weather by definition, because she's just now showing her face. She's just now on the forefront of the campaign. It's been Biden up until 3 weeks ago. So Kamala's base is fair weather by definition. Like, they just got here.
Yeah.
Like, they some bandwagoners pretty much. Like, they gonna go with whoever they put up.
Because she's a black woman.
Bro,
but Trump supporters been with bro since 2016.
They rocking with him. Like,
he got years, bro. People done put in years of support for this man. Even when he wasn't president, there was like, bro, low-key donating for him to get ready to run.
Yep.
It's like, what can I say, bro? It's that type of loyalty that you can only get through,
Trump's fundraising is actually always been phenomenal, for real. The fundraising on Trump's campaign has always been phenomenal.
The merchandise, legend.
Man, go whizzing, and these guys came jumping on top of me, and a young lady, Kate, would jump. They moved so fast, and let me tell you, that took tremendous courage. Now, there was a lack of coordination. There was, obviously everybody understands that somebody that building should have been covered.
Make sure to like the video.
And, I mean, I think that, like, I mean, looking at the aerial views, that building would be like the number one spot for a sniper. I mean, it's like if you were to pick, like, what is the favorite? So if the goal is to assassinate, what's your favorite spot? That building.
You're right.
That building would be number one.
That would have been the spot.
It's like you can ask for a better
What's your favorite spot?
No, that would have been the spot. You know what people think is when the local policeman, who, by the way, he really
spot with rooftop access.
He did what he was supposed to do. He couldn't hold on any longer.
Honestly, though.
And then when he got his head just peeking above, this guy standing there with a gun at his head, and when he fell down again, hurt his ankle very badly, but he was making the calls.
Okay, so he did turn.
But what happened is the firing took place very soon. So what you think is that this guy ran to his site, which he had all planned out with the gun. He ran to the site and he started shooting fast, and maybe that's why he sort of missed. I mean, he got me, but it could have been a much bigger problem.
But he totally would have hit if you hadn't turned your head. So, like, there was a.
It was hit him like damn near in the
near thing.
It was a miracle. If I hadn't turned my head, I would not be talking to you right now. As much as I like you,
exactly,
I would not. I would not be talking.
I mean, he told you to be from another realm, perhaps.
Yeah, that's right. We'd be talking from a different place. But it was a very terrible experience. The Butler Hospital, they did such a great job. The doctors were so good. Everybody was so good. There was a mistake. If somebody knew, because people were hearing that, there was just a bad feeling that somebody was around. You know that story now. It's been if somebody could have said, because they've oftentimes said, like there'd be a lightning storm or something. Because I've done, I think, over 300. I think I did a lot more than that. But we did a lot. And oftentimes they'll say, "Sir, could you wait 10 minutes, please? Sir, could you wait 20 minutes? There's a storm overhead or lightning or something," right? And that happens often.
I guess it's
and this would have been a
Nick
perfect
Fuentes'
time for that
base.
to have happened, but it didn't get coordinated. That was the problem.
I said that. I said they got to rebrand.
It was I think your actions
You know,
in the
I'm no marketing strategist,
but fire, and like
Man.
what I found admirable there was
I don't
that
think that
you
name
can't
is ever
fake
gonna
bravery
get
under
mass
such a
adoption.
sense of the courage is instinctual or it is not.
And look
It's
how they
not a
spell it
robust
too.
action. And so I just want to say that I think a lot of
Imagine
people
putting that on
admire
a t-shirt.
your courage under fire there. And
Right.
yeah, so
Thank you
Man.
very much. I appreciate it.
No
I
questions asked.
didn't think of it. I just wanted to get up, and I wanted to stand up. I wanted to let people know. I felt I was good when they were on top of me, covering me, actually, very much covering me, and very bravely.
They did.
But
They
I
were
wanted to
late,
get
but
up.
they
I
did.
said, I want to get up.
They did.
And they wanted,
I wanted to see
they have
somebody
everything
dramatic,
there.
like
They have
jump in front of
they
you,
wanted
like,
stretcher. I didn't like the stretcher, and I knew I was hit in the ear, but I knew I wasn't hit anywhere else. They felt I was hit someplace else because it was such a lot of blood, and they were sure that I was hit someplace else. And they were saying, "Sir, you
know
were
that's
hit
what they
more
were
than
doing
the
when
ear."
they
I
was
said,
covering
"Nope,
them. Like,
I was hit in the ear. I want to get up. Let me get up." And so I got up.
You running still, right?
And the crowd didn't know what to think. I mean, this was so many people, and you could see they were confused. They didn't know what to think. And
all right, let's take a pause for the sponsors, because have you heard of the recent advertising scandal? Let me break it down. The CEO of Rumble, Chris Pavlovsky, recently released an email from Enterprise brand and Dunkin' Donuts. The email explicitly states the right-wing culture of Rumble is too polarizing. In other words, Dunkin' Donuts has a problem with right-wing culture and wants nothing to do with Rumble. Well, or with it or Rumble. So no right-wing, no Rumble. All right. So here's the solution. Stop buying the products that don't support you and start supporting the brands that support you. The competing coffee brand that we all need to get behind is Rumble's 1775 coffee. For a limited time, Rumble is offering a buy 2 bags of coffee and get 1 free. Go to 1775coffee.com and enter the promo code Duncan to get this limited time deal. Remember, go to 1775 coffee and put in the code Duncan. Man, let's stick it to these people.
No, that's hilarious,
man.
I wanted to let them know I was okay. It was very important for me to let them know that. And they went wild. You've seen they didn't go wild when I got up because they didn't know, was I alive? You really couldn't tell. When I stood up before the fist in the air, they didn't know if I was alive. Nobody did.
Oh man!
And when I put the fist up, they were.
I mean, we know his name. Just about it.
Relieved and happy and thrilled, and the place went crazy. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
It was.
Who doesn't have a wiki?
Yo, me and Kier talking about the owner of Dunkin' Donuts, bro. Look this man up and I promise.
Inform us. Tell us.
Because we cannot find his early life, but we have found out. I ain't gonna lie. Yes. Dunkin' Donuts, a founder was one of them boys. You know, one of them people from the Israeli homeland we love so much.
The brimless.
Terrible thing, but it was
incredibly moving. Yeah. Well, and speaking of the sort of slide that got you to turn that saved your life really was the illegal immigration slide. Maybe this is worth talking about that.
It was
that slide. That slide saved your life.
No, the illegal immigration saved my life. You're right, but it had to be at an exact angle.
I mean, that's a great one.
They clowned it.
You know, the incredible thing though, when you talk about the odds, you had to be exactly at that angle. But the incredible thing is that the chart, I used it less than 20% of the time. It was just a moment.
Yeah.
It's always on my left, never my right, and it's always at the end of the speech. So here we have it. It's on the right, not the left. It's at the beginning, not the end. And even the people that put it up, they were unprepared, and they did a great job. They got it up immediately, fortunately. But I looked to the right, and the bullet came whizzing by, hitting my ear. So it was amazing. But when you think of the odds of that, And
Yeah,
you know that normally you wouldn't use it. Normally I wouldn't have the thing, and then it would have been a very different story. It's very much, I say, an act of God. It's a miracle that it happened, and I'm honored by it.
Say
I'm
somebody
honored
was
by
looking
it.
out for Trump that day.
Man,
Well,
Universe,
what were you about to say about illegal
God?
Oh God, because no matter
Allah.
how you feel about Trump, even if you want him to lose, the man don't deserve to die. Like, come on now.
And no matter how you feel about Trump and the situation, that bullet was supposed to hit him. Not gonna lie.
Nah, you ain't lying, bro. That shit was supposed to grab his ass.
immigration before you were rudely interrupted?
Well, I was going to say how good the numbers were. By the way, we're going back to Butler.
And man, we're
going to go back in October. We're all set up, and the people are fantastic in Butler. It's a great area. Great. These are incredible people. Like the three that, in the case of Corey killed, and the other two, the families are. I got to know them a little bit, and
no, that is a crazy timeline. That is a crazy timeline to just imagine.
I want you to think about the timeline we be in if Trump got shot.
Wow,
how much the whole
everything
MAGA
else
group,
going on too, bro.
How much the whole MAGA group of low key just be on their ass like, no, y'all did this. We know it's confirmed. You couldn't beat Trump. Your numbers were down, bro. You could not tell Trump supporters nothing at that point. You damn near have to turn into a civil war. It'd be those who wanted that man in power versus those who felt like his death was just a coincidence. It'd have been all out war. I ain't even gonna lie to you. All right, that's why I'm happy it ain't happened, because bro, it was literally like we're now in an alternate universe to where, bro, we could have been all out of civil war, bro. Me and you supposed to be outside with AK-47s with damn near Trump bandanas
You're not
around our
lying.
head type shit.
You're not lying. You're not lying. And I think the
families are great.
I think the powers that be are still scrambling to come up with a plan B or going about the plan B. Like, fuck, that really didn't work. Like I'm saying, like, bro, that bullet was meant for Trump. They signed his name on that motherfucker, and it was meant for his ass. It hit his ear.
So congratulations, man. Welcome to the alternate reality.
Great, but we're going back to Butler.
We all here.
And I think I'll probably start by saying, as I was saying, prior to being so horribly interrupted, but
so rudely interrupted by an assassination attempt.
But the chart.
Some people have no manners.
Elon, the chart was just a chart that in my last week we had the best illegal immigration numbers, meaning stopping.
Yo, fucking effing Rambo is hilarious, bro. I would be lying to you and all 27 of our viewers, bro, if I was sitting here and try to say, oh, yeah, but Biden and Kamala has done a good job, bro. I'd be a lying ass motherfucker right here, bro. I ain't even going to do that. Man, Trump 2024, bro. Let's just go. Let's go.
Week we had the best illegal immigration numbers, meaning stopping. It was at the lowest. You've seen the chart. It's become quite a famous chart. But that was the lowest point ever recorded. It was a really, I was very proud of those numbers. And then you see what happened with these people, Kamala and Joe. You see what happened. They just let it go. I had remain in Mexico policies. I had all these different policies that was so good. Guys like Tom Holman and Brandon Judd from Border Patrol. These are all people that they've been on television. They says the best numbers we've ever had. We had so many different checks. Catch and release in Mexico, not the United. We had catch and release in the United States. We had it in Mexico. We had so many things. We had things where many people come in there, they have contagious diseases. We had everything passed. If you have a contagious disease, I'm sorry, but we cannot allow you into the country. So we were setting literally records, and all I was doing is showing that, and I use it sometimes, and
He's a
in this case, I'm glad I used it. I can tell you that.
But I was sorry.
But they were fantastic numbers. But I'm going to sleep with that chart always. I'll be sleeping with that chart. That chart was very important.
The chart for a lot of reasons. Is the thing that saved Trump's life. If
would it be accurate to say that you're supportive of legal immigration?
Different reality, guys.
But we obviously need to shut down illegal immigration and especially unvetted illegal immigration, because that's not the same as saying that everyone who's an illegal immigrant is bad. In fact, I think most people who are illegal immigrants are actually good, but you can't tell a difference unless there's a solid vetting of who comes across the border. Does that Does that actually represent your position?
I say it very simply. They have to come in legally. They have to be checked.
Yeah.
Because look, Kamala was the border czar. Now she's denying it. Everything that I do, she's saying she was strong on the border. And we're going to be strong. Well, she doesn't have to say it. She could close it up right now. They could do things right now.
No, we strong then.
No tax on tips, and all of a sudden she's making a speech and there will be no tax on tips. I said that months ago. And by the way, they had just the opposite. You know, they had not only tax on tips, but they hired 88,000.
Yeah, Kamala did steal one of Trump's, selling points. No tax on tips.
Yeah.
She came out and stole that motherfucker. Yeah, we're not going to tax on tips. I'm like, wow, so you can't make up your own policies or have your own idealism. You just got to rip somebody else's
I mean, it sounded so good. She said, I might as well cop that sauce. Like, let me write that in on my shit.
And many of them were assigned to go get waitresses and caddies and all of this.
That looks better than what I had.
They have a policy. They had a policy that were really going to go after you. And we're really harassing people horribly. And then all of a sudden, for politics, she says, she comes out with what I said, which I think is terrible. And I think it's also hitting them very hard. These people are fake. Now they're also saying they did a good job in the border. We had the worst numbers in the history of the world, not of our country.
That's what
There's never been a country in history.
Go look at it. Goddamn, what's her name? Nancy Pelosi was just had came out and said how she doesn't really support. She's unimpressed with the Biden administration.
Never was.
But if you go look back over the years, she said that Joe's our guy. I fully support him. He's what's best for America. Trump just said it best. These people are fake.
Oh, God. That shit was hilarious, bro. I'm not even going to lie. Big Money Pelosi, like I call it. Because like I said, she's the biggest scammer in American history who's still scamming.
Has had a catastrophe like this. We've had, I believe, and I think you believe this too, you hear 12 million, 13. I believe it's over 20 million people came into our country. Many coming from jails, from prisons.
They're going to inflate the numbers, but it's a lot of people.
Mental institutions.
It's a lot of people.
A bigger version of that is insane asylums.
That's facts, though.
And many are terrorists. And I'll tell you what, they're coming not just from South America. They're coming from Africa. They're coming from.
Oh, shit. You don't want to hear that one. It's like
stupidly and horribly bombing Israel October 7th. They're coming from all over the world. And you look at, it's so sad, October 7th, because it should have never happened.
Yeah.
It's so sad when you look at Ukraine. It should have never happened. We have a defective government. These are defective people, and they're not people that should be running it. But where you see it the best is the border.
Agreed.
Because you have millions of people coming in a month, and then she gets up and she tries to pretend like she's going to do something. She had 3.5 years. And by the way, they have another 5 months that they can do something, but they won't do anything. It's all talk. She's incompetent and he's incompetent. And frankly, I think that she's more incompetent than he is. And that's saying something because he's not too good.
Yeah. No, I think it is essential to.
And her adding Tim Walz to the ballot ain't help it. That's what I'm saying. Like, they didn't add no new sauce, no new flavor to the Biden party or to the Democratic Party.
They really just doubled down on what they already had going on because Kamala's a leftist.
Yeah. And
hardcore lib, as they would say.
God, Tim Walz out here letting women have abortion all the way up to, I guess, the 6th.
Third trimester and whatnot.
Oh, Lord.
All this progressive ass shit, putting tampon Tim.
Tampon Timmy. That's what we're going to call it. Tampon Timmy, man.
Oh, man. And he want to call Vance and Trump weirdos.
It's like, dog, you put tampons in boys' bathrooms.
I wouldn't even have said that. Like, bro, it's like throwing rocks in a glass house. Like, what the hell?
Like, dog, you let your whole city get, like, pillaged. No, your whole state didn't get pillaged.
Bro.
Clap while it happened.
Said there was a beautiful, beautiful process.
Man.
That's American democracy at its best.
And one of you is weird. It's crazy.
To have a secure border. I mean, you're really not a country unless you have a secure border. And
secure elections.
Absolutely secure elections. And so it's just essential to have a real border, or
right.
We can't function
in this day and age.
And our service, our central services are being
Harris.
overwhelmed.
What's up?
But as we were talking about earlier, I think having illegal immigration process that is smooth and efficient and done well. And I, speaking
Appreciate
as someone who is
man. Make sure
a
they
legal
like the
immigrant,
video.
and I think that like one way to think of it is, who do you want on your team? Who do you want on Team America? And I think we want to just say, okay, we want to let in people who are gonna be great contributors to our society and to our economy, and and who do you want on the team? And it's not to say that, like in my opinion, actually, I'd say like probably most of the illegal immigrants actually are actually good, hardworking people. That's my opinion. But some are not, and you just have this sort of adverse selection process where, if somebody's if somebody's like has a career in theft or robbery, I don't understand what's taken them so long to get here, because we're in such a target-rich environment. I mean, why aren't more people who have a career in bad things coming here sooner? Because it's a piece of cake to go rob houses in LA or New York compared to other parts of the world. And in a lot of places in America, if you try to stop the person who's robbing you, you'll be arrested.
Yeah. Bro, isn't it crazy though how the border really has been on Kamala's caseload for the past 4 years as a vice president? But it's just like everybody forgets about that, or I don't know, they've managed to fool us or change the topic, and now she's saying how she's just gonna solve the border crisis.
I ain't gonna lie, when I heard that one, every time I hear it, I damn near crack up.
It's like, bro, they think we're fools.
My nigga, we made you the border czar. What did you do then? Oh, no. You wanted to wait until you became president to do something about it for real? She said, no. If I solve it now, I won't have nothing to do when I'm president. It's like
It's like they lie right to our. It's duplicitous. It's duplicitous. They lie right to our face.
Oh, it's right. I mean, what's happening with crime? And our police are so good, but they're not allowed to do their job. But I have to tell you, Elon, I hate to say, because
now wasn't it? Now that we're talking about immigration, now wasn't it crazy how kind of El Salvador is bragging about, oh yeah, we just locked everybody up, and but instead of saying, oh, we locked everybody, well, you kind of lied and said, yeah, we locked everybody up, and then we pushed them out into America.
Right.
Is what you really
did. Because they were bragging about their low crime rates.
Yeah, and bro was on Tucker Carlson saying that shit. That was a banger right there.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Tucker Carlson?
Yeah, it was Tucker Carlson.
Okay, good. I thought it was either that
such
or
a downer to say it. I hate to say it. I hate it, but you have a lot of people that just shouldn't be. I think it's a much bigger number than you think. They're allowing people from
these cartels, these bloodthirsty cartels came over.
Where they're coming from. You would have had all of them. As an example, Venezuela, their crime is down 72%. They're taking their drug dealers. They're taking, frankly, their prisoners. They're emptying out their prisons. They're taking their criminals, their murderers, their rapists, and they're delivering
everybody tuning in. Go ahead and make sure to like the video.
Castro
did well, he did on a much smaller scale.
Yeah.
It was a much smaller scale. But this is a massive scale because this is being done worldwide. But here's what's happening. Crime all over the world is down. And wait till you see the numbers that we have. This is migrant crime. This is crime that's going to be. Yeah. And I saw it today in New York where somebody was knifed where they raped the girlfriend of a man that stood there watching in New York in one of the shelters and started pulling out the knives, and bad things happened today. But this is happening every day.
Jeez.
These are rough people. These are people that are in jail for murder and all sorts of things. And they're releasing them into our country. And they're telling them, if you come back, we're going to kill you. We're going to give you the death penalty or kill you. So they don't want to come back. But these are rough people. Yeah. These are criminals that make our criminals look like nice people. And it's horrible what they're doing. And she's in charge of it because, now she's trying to say she had nothing to do with it. And she's such a liar because she was called the border czar the first day, and it was on the headlines of every newspaper. She's the border czar, and she never even went there. She went to one location which had nothing to do with where the problem is. You know, she went in and out.
And did what most women do. Post up, look cute, and
Took
leave.
a little couple photos for Instagram and
Dipped down out, man. You know, had to get in the camera one good time, and she gone.
Photo op.
She was getting a lot of pressure, but had nothing to do with the problem. But she was the border czar.
They said she went to the
people
luxurious
can't
part of the
allow
border
them to get away with their disinformation campaign. Now she's trying to say that
zero crime.
she wasn't really involved, and the whole thing is horrible. She was
totally
in charge. She could have shut the border down without him. He didn't know what he was doing anyway, so he wouldn't have even known what happened. You could shut the border down. He wouldn't even know the difference. But
Man,
the
appreciate
fact
everybody
is that
tuning
she
in,
was
but go ahead
border
and
czar.
like the
But
video,
you don't
man.
have to call
Hit
her
that
that.
like button, man.
The fact
don't
is, you
cost
could just
nothing.
call her. She was in charge of the border, and the border was the worst ever.
Yeah.
It's simply not working.
No, it's horrible.
Whether it's a question of intention or competence, either way, we don't have a secure border, and we have people streaming over like it looks like a World War Z zombie apocalypse at times. And you know, sometimes you got to sort of wonder, like, is it real or not? So because you see things, you're like, is it real? I went to the border at Eagle Pass, and I saw for myself in Texas, and I was like, okay, it's real. I'm like seeing this in real time. I actually posted the video like just live. I just flew there one day and just to see, hey, is this made up or real? And I'm just seeing people stream across the border, and I have to say, you know, these people I saw did not look friendly. You know, these people can look at my video and say, hey, you know, these people look friendly. They don't look super friendly. So
these are people that Elon would not be the same man if he had to walk across the street and look these people in the eye. These are rough people. These are really rough people coming across. And I know rough people. And these are people that we don't want in our country. And, you know, the caravans are coming in, and they're putting, and who's doing this are the heads of the countries. And you would be doing it, and so would I. And everyone would say, oh, what a terrible thing to say. The fact is, it's brilliant for them because they're taking all of their bad people, really bad people. And I hate to say this, the reason the numbers are much bigger than you would think is they're also taking their non-productive people. Now, these aren't people that will kill you. We have enough of them. But these are people that are non-productive. They are just not productive. I mean, for whatever reason, they're not workers, or they don't want to work, or whatever.
People who just
and
like
these countries
mooch off of you and probably the government, like, and they sending them folks over here trying to get on our government assistance programs.
I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Use our taxpayer dollars, and
that 2020 unemployment done fucked a lot of people up, but it done let people in a fantasy world. Like, damn it, can I get that again? It's like, nah, G, get your ass back to work, man.
Yeah, people was getting what, $600, $800, $900 a week just to sit at home,
man. And now you think it's going to happen again? Come on now. You got a nice long vacation. Now go ahead and put in some nice long hard work.
Are getting rid of non-productive people in the caravans in many cases. And they're also getting rid of their murderers and their drug dealers and the people that are really
getting Venezuela's version of those
people.
niggas.
And they're coming into our country at levels that have never been seen
niggas that
before.
like to chill and play the game.
I saw an ad just before I got on the air. I'm walking over here,
or Boulevard,
and I saw an ad
or just
by
be outside
Kamala
all day getting no money,
saying how
really
she is going to provide border security. Where has she been for 3.5 years? For 3.5 years, we have 20 million people for it. It's a terrible.
Yeah, I think this, frankly, I think this is a fundamental existential issue for the United States. And if we have another 4 more years of open borders, and it's going to be even worse with another 4 more years, it's going to be even worse than it's been for the past 3.5 years. I'm not sure we've got a country.
You don't have a country left. Elon, if they get in, you will have 50 to 60 million people from all over the world, not South America only. You know, we think of South America, we think of Honduras and El Salvador, Guatemala, and Mexico, you know, the 4. But it's not that. It's everywhere. They're coming in from everywhere. And I had to stay in Mexico.
Yeah, I think this is a super important point. Like, people, it's like, basically, when I went down there, I was like, well, where are people from? It's like almost no one was from Mexico.
No, Mexico less.
It's just the border. It's just the border with Mexico. But
you know,
the people
crazy?
coming,
like, this behavior in Kamala is like been done before, where she kind of leaves things for another day. Like, bro, there's been cases where she done held out on handing out the death penalty or like letting somebody go or actually letting a trial proceed because she wanted to gain some type of, public fame off it. That's what I'm saying. Get some, put herself up in the numbers because of the
some
case.
clout.
You feel me? So it's like she's doing the same thing with the immigration. She's like, no, why would I fix immigration?
I'm gonna let that build up. I'm gonna let that build up. So it's an issue. It catches everybody's eyebrows. Now, when I say, okay, well, if you vote me in as president, I'll fix the immigration issue. I ain't got y'all.
I'm going. Y'all gonna pat me on the head like a good little president.
Man, it's Earth, the rest of Earth, and America is only about 4 or 5% of the population of Earth. It would only take a few percent of the rest of Earth to overwhelm everything.
That border problem build up.
Elon. We're overwhelmed. You had to see the news tonight about New York.
Fix it 10%.
New York, and I love that place. And what they're doing to it is horrible. What they're doing to it, and all the courts do is they try and focus on Trump. Bro. Okay, then let's focus on Trump.
They let it get this bad to the point where literally, like I said, if we fix it 10%, y'all gonna love us.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
but really, bruh. Taking them in, and then they're like,
my
we're good now.
God.
It's like, really? You let it get this bad? And then waited until what? Economic destruction? What? Civil distress?
It's
civil distress.
Irreparable damage, pretty much. Man. Shit that can't even be unfixed. And then, bro, just to fix it 10%, I know, bro. It's just, why wouldn't we? This shit is so bad. We can't go back 100%, but bro, for them to fix it 10% of what it is right now, that's low key. They can bet on that. They can get a percentage of voters just for claiming that they can fix the issue off of 10%.
And if you ask me who's running America right now, who's running this shit for the past 4 years, I said be the same people who's running this shit for the past maybe 12 years. The military-industrial complex, those at Lockheed Martin, Boeing, and other places that make tremendous amount of money off us going to war. Those who run us right now.
We did nothing wrong. I complain about a rigged election. Elon, what's happened is unbelievable. You have from Africa, from the Congo, they're coming, from the Congo, and 22 people came in from the Congo recently, and they're murderers, and they drop them. They drop them. They take them out of jails, which is very expensive, to maintain the jails. Although they don't do too much maintaining, I can tell you. But they take them out of jails, prisons. They take them out, and they bring them to the United States. They deposit them in the United States and say, "Don't ever come back, or you're going to be executed." And they don't want to come back, but they won't come back.
Sure.
But they're coming from Africa. They're coming from Asia. They're coming from the Middle East. They're coming from South America.
Well,
they're coming from everywhere, and there are a lot of really bad ones.
It's just an everywhere on Earth at this point. Thing, and it's just not possible for the United States to absorb everyone from Earth, or even a few percent of the rest of Earth. It's just not possible. So,
well, Elon, we're going to have to finish this up. We're going to have the largest deportation in history of this country, and we have no choice. Otherwise, we're going to have a country. What they've done to our country.
Trump said we're going to have the largest.
In Venezuela and in some of these other countries, crime is down
what's funny is Obama had a huge deportation effort,
and you would be the same.
Now it's even crazy though, because I remember when the whole vitality thing where they're catching pedos and all that good stuff. Myron's on it, Charles White was on it. Now, bro, the majority of those people were undocumented illegal immigrants.
You're right about that.
Like, that was the most scariest thing I realized about every time they caught these niggas up. It was an illegal immigrant who's out here trying to mess with kids. It's like, are you serious? You tell me this ain't a problem. That's why even Myron's like, yeah, we got to shut this shit down. And shoot, I didn't want to hit him with the video, but... the gumball video for everybody to know, but
you would have.
I should go check that out.
Venezuela has not gotten rid of all of them. They've gotten rid of about 70% of their really
yesterday's
bad people.
video.
Their jails are about 50% put into the United States. The same with other countries. Some are 30%, some are at 50%. They're all different. But the bottom line is they're all going to be at 100%. Why wouldn't you put 100% of it? And they're doing it right now while this third-rate phony candidate. Don't forget, I beat Biden. He failed in the debate miserably, and some people said, "Oh, gee, it's too bad. It's too bad he did so badly," or "I did well in the debate." The first night they said, "Wow." One of the people at CNN said that was the greatest debate performance I've ever witnessed. And then 2 days later, they didn't talk about that. They just said he was bad. But that's okay. That's the way I get treated, and I don't mind that at all. What I can tell you is this. We cannot have a Democrat. We cannot have her. She's incompetent. She's as bad as Biden.
There's way more pressure on Trump to beat that's on performance alone. Like, I always said that was unfair. Like, why are we taking it so easy on Kamala because she's a woman, bro? If we gotta take it on easy because she's a woman, she don't need to be president. Because these world leaders ain't gonna take it easy on her. The situations around the world are not gonna get easier because the U.S. president's a woman now. Everybody, let's calm the fuck down. No, that's not happening.
Nah, they're gonna see it as a time for opportunity. If they thought Biden was weak, then what do you think they're gonna think of Kamala?
Bro, then. But the problem is, then why act for us to take it easy? Why can't Trump go in? Why does Trump have a higher burden of performance than this woman that's going for the same seat as him? Like, bro, where's the equality? The feminists should be mad. They'd be like, nah, Trump should be able to grill Kamala. What do you mean? Fuck that, she's a woman.
You know what's funny is this is the time for equality to really go out the window. We need who's best for the job. This ain't a time where we need an equity hire. We don't need somebody in here who can stand a chance for the job. We need somebody who has the best chance to fulfill the job. Like, don't get her in there on some, let's try it out. Like, nah.
No. We need confirmation.
In a different... Look, she hasn't done an interview since this whole scam started. And say what you want. This was a coup. This was a coup of a president of the United States. He didn't want to leave, and they said, we can do it the nice way, or we can do it the hard way.
Yeah, they just took him out back behind the
which
shed.
Which is the pulling funding way.
Oh, what they did with this guy. And I'm no fan of his, and he was a horrible president.
They bullied his old ass out the fucking seat.
And one of the reasons he was so bad, first of all, the Israeli attack would have never happened. Russia would never have attacked Ukraine, and we'd have no inflation. And we wouldn't have had the Afghanistan mess, if you think of it.
Well,
and we wouldn't have had Afghanistan.
Trump got more credit than some rappers.
You take a few of those events away, and we have a different world. We would also have money. Inflation was caused by oil.
Real money too, not that fake money. Rappers
I think you make an excellent point here, which is that when other countries can, that are thinking about invading or doing bad things, when they're thinking about that, they're thinking about, okay, what's the American president going to do? And do they fear the American president, or is it someone they do not respect and do not fear?
Yeah, and Trump said he's going to drill.
They do.
But I mean, to my knowledge, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, the Biden administration just started doing the drilling.
They're like, okay,
that's why there was such an energy crisis and a problem with rising inflation is because they weren't drilling. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why we had a rise in gas prices. And the situation in Ukraine, we get 7% of our oil from there. So fucking up that situation over there definitely, drove our prices up. The fact that we want to be on this, green energy so bad and we won't drill in our own backyard is wild. But the climate change scam is forever strong for some. I don't get it, but hey, y'all be falling for it sometimes.
I think people are not.
No, it's a scam when they said you guys are emitting too much CO2 or too much poisonous dioxide into the area or into the atmosphere
from carbon.
Too much carbon from products that they gave us. It's from products that they gave us though.
That's why they want to give us carbon taxes.
All type of shit that they gave us and built for us and we bought. So it's crazy,
bro. That's why they wouldn't give you a carbon tax, so they can tax you just for living.
Like this shit is crazy.
It's like, dude, you breathe out carbon dioxide.
Yeah.
So it's like,
you exhale.
Bro, you talking about?
Yeah, you exhale CO2.
Carbon credit. Y'all basically charging me to breathe. Well, carbon taxes.
Not going to be, and they obviously have not been at all intimidated by Biden, and they certainly will not be intimidated by Kamala. And you have to really think of that in the context of global security.
Don't these companies get that too?
That if the American president is someone that evil dictators are scared of, that makes a huge difference to the security of the world.
So I had a good relationship with Putin, despite the Russia hoax that lasted for over 2 years. Just a hoax created by Hillary Clinton and Adam Shifty Schiff, some just bad people, just sick people, frankly. I mean, Schiff is a sick person. He's going to end up probably being a senator. It's hard to believe. The whole thing is hard to believe. But, they put our country in danger with that stuff, too. They actually, when they make up stories, and you have to fight your way out of it for a long time. But I know Putin very well. I got along with him very well. He respected me, and it's just one of those things. And we would talk a lot about Ukraine. It was the apple of his eye. But I said, don't ever do it. Don't ever do it. You know, I shut down Nord Stream too. That was the big oil pipeline, the biggest, I think, the biggest pipeline.
You telling me this nigga Putin low-key's been lusting for Ukraine? Like, this is something he's been satiating over almost.
We kind of just gave him the ammo to.
Like, that was crazy.
Nah, because, bro, honestly, he could have lived in perfect economic tranquility with Ukraine without doing all this.
You're right.
But the thing is, he's going to be even better off if he takes Ukraine. So think about it like this. It's like, I get money just working with you, but I can get all the money just taking everything over and everything for myself.
You're right. Or it's exactly as they said. And when Biden got into office, they seen it as a time for opportunity, a time of weakness. So it's really scary to think that they walked over Biden. They did what they did when Biden was in office, but now they want to elect Kamala.
Yeah, that's a bit.
You think they're gonna respect? Oh no, Kamala is respectable. You know what I'm saying? You think relations and diplomacy is gonna be better with Kamala in office than Biden?
Like, are you serious? I don't know, but hey, some people believe anything as long as you put a blackface on it.
Like, Kamala is not a statesman, like, at all. Like, she cannot handle political foreign affairs at all.
Yeah, once some point, because Ukraine is rich in mineral. That's what I'm saying. It's like it just benefits them. It benefited them to work with them, with the whole NATO thing going on. But once that was out the window,
once NATO impeded,
now I could really eat. Now I could really get money off the Ukraine. Now I can just slip in there and take it over because y'all didn't, keep up y'all side of negotiations.
And he was annexed. And he was annexed from NATO.
Yeah, but they told him that, look, we won't move an inch past Poland, I believe. We won't get into Ukraine. Ukraine will never be a part of NATO. What do y'all do behind my man's back? Try to get him a part
But what
of
even
NATO?
before that, though, when Russia wanted to play nice. They wanted to play nice with NATO.
Yeah, but we told him no.
Exactly.
We told him no, but even then, even if he was told no, he still had to. We still made that agreement with him. Like, okay, but we won't move.
We ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that.
We ain't gonna move into your territory, okay, bro? We got you.
That's like China over here getting bases in the Texas-Laredo border or some shit like that, over across in Mexico, right next to us. Like, come on now, we ain't letting that go down.
Oh, bro, I ain't gonna lie though. They is messing with the farms. Like I said, they want us to be completely government, independent. And so they can, destroy our ability to move upward in the social class.
Plan in the world going all over Europe. I shut it down. Biden came, and then they say, I loved Russia. I was a friend of Putin. I loved Russia. No, he actually said to me one time, he said, if you're my friend, I'd hate to see you as an enemy. I shut down his pipeline.
Now, if you want to be broke for Russia, like that's going to happen in any economy, but it's going to be tougher in a
pathetic president gets in there. And the first thing he did, one of the early things he did is he shut down.
Catch what Trump said, though?
He shut down.
He said, hey, look, man, I pulled up. I was pretty much say, look, we were friends, right? Like, we ain't got to fight like this, man. It's best you just comply and we just all go our happy way. But
in reference to who?
I think he was either talking to Putin, Kim Jong. He has a lot of friends.
Right.
So I'm
foreign leaders.
Talking to Putin at this point.
Keystone XL pipeline, which is our pipeline that would have employed 48,000 people, pipeline workers, shuts it down. That was, a massive job that Obama refused to allow. Yeah. I allowed it in my first week because it was jobs and it moved oil. And by the way, in a much more environmentally friendly way. It's underground. It's not a truck that catches on fire.
Nah, for real though. Like, we do have oil rigs like for days.
I remember there was a lot of discourse about that pipeline.
But they didn't want to open. That's what I'm saying. Because they're like, bro, open it. It'll help the economy. They're going, oh, no, we want to get out of green energy.
Because it wasn't environmentally friendly?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so it's an environment. As environmentally friendly over the people who can make money off this? Like, us being environmentally friendly don't make us no money at the end of the day.
Self-hate. Huh?
Self-hate. Who? Oh, Sean Williams.
Or a train that catches on fire. But think of it. He shut down the XL pipeline, the Keystone XL pipeline. Yeah. He shuts that down, and he approves the Russian pipeline.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's inconsistent. Certainly, but I mean, I think it's just worth emphasizing, to listeners the immense importance of whether the United States president is intimidating or not intimidating, and how much that matters to global security, because there's some
really
real
owned
tough
by
characters
Canada,
out there, and if they don't think the American president is tough, they will do what they want to do.
I know every one of
and
them.
that puts it puts the whole world in danger.
Elon, I know every one of them, and I know them well. I know Putin. I know President Xi. I know Kim Jong-un of North Korea. I know every one of them. And let me tell you,
all their numbers on speed.
People say, "Oh, this is terrible." He said, "I'm not saying anything good or bad. They're at the top of their game. They're tough. They're smart. They're vicious, and they're going to protect their country, whether they love their country."
No, Biden did stop the pipeline for green energy. Like, yeah, Biden's hard on green energy. Actually, the whole Democratic Party supported the whole green energy agenda. So, yes, he did stop the pipeline for it. Yes, he did.
Probably do. It's just a different form of love, but they're going to protect their country. But these are tough people at the top of their game. And when they see a Kamala or when they see Biden, Sleepy Joe, they can't even believe it. They can't believe this happened.
All right,
all the stuff that you.
So what was it? On November 6, 2015, the Obama administration rejected the Keystone XL pipeline project, citing economic and environmental concerns.
So Trump's not lying. Trump is not lying.
And the thing about it, you like how they add economic in there when it added to the economy, but they had to throw the environmental part there. See, the economic part don't make no sense, but the environmental part is what the one they want you to
Well, the economic part is they're going to try and scare you with the number it's going to cost up front. They're going to throw a big number and be like, oh, it's going to have to come from somewhere.
Any economist would hit you with the, but the profit, my nigga.
Right.
It's like any economist would just be like, what are you talking about? Nigga, we're talking about oil here. We're talking about a $5 trillion company.
Come on, Seth.
Bro, whatever billions we spend, we're going to get that back. We're going to get it back double.
But on the other hand, we're talking about media and how they mislead the populace.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be real. They can only mislead the populace because niggas don't know economics or government or about government. I'm gonna be real with you.
They presented the story one type of way, and they said it's too much, and it's gonna hurt the fishies. It's gonna hurt the animals. It's gonna hurt the trees.
He do know every. Hey, look, bro. See, look. Now I gotta get into this one point. He does know all the dictators, but you have to work with these world powers. Like, what do you think you gotta do to survive out here in this global economy? The big dogs are us, China, and Russia. Sadly, 2 of those motherfuckers is under a dictatorship. So what do you want us to do? We have to play nice with these people. Like, you're ignorant if you think that, let's say you're a businessman. You got to make a deal with these people. Are you going to go into these people's office, insult them, and call them all types of names and sit down and be like, okay, but I need you to work with me, though? Like, that's how some of y'all sound when y'all say, but he knows dictators, though. Why is he aligned with Putin? I'm like, nigga, we have to work with Putin.
There's plans for a pipeline. There's plans for a pipeline, but the Obama administration shut it down. My bad, go ahead, sir.
But yeah, though. So for that dude, Jake, who said he knows every dictator, I'm not sure if that was the point you were going at, but nah, he has to know every dictator. Like, you have to know every world leader. And thing is, you have to know the strongest of world leaders who are sadly dictators. Well, it is what it is.
Make sure to go ahead and like the video. Appreciate everybody tuning
in. Look at Israel. They're all waiting for an attack from Iran. Iran would not be attacking, believe me. You know, when I was there, and I say it with respect, because I think we would have been good with Iran. I don't want to do anything bad to Iran, but they knew not to mess around. Iran was broke because I told China, if you buy from Iran oil, it's all about the oil. That's where the money is. But if you buy oil from Iran, you're not going to do any business with the United States. And I meant it. And they said, we'll pass. Yeah. They didn't buy oil. Other countries, likewise. Sure. You want to buy, you're not doing business with the United States. And they were at a point where they had no money for Hamas. They had no money for Hezbollah. They had no money for any of these instruments of terror. And it was amazing. In fact, there were articles when I was leaving, which is hard to believe, actually, especially when you look at what's happened to our country. Our country is so bad right now. It's such a different place. We were respected. Think of it. 4 years ago, we were so respected to a point.
Somebody said Russia isn't a larger. Bro, who the fuck? Bro, did you see that one, bro? This dude, man, literally said Russia is not a major player. There's 3 states that have a larger GDP than Russia. I'm like, okay, but can Russia go into them states with larger GDPs and take them over militarily? Yeah, they can. Because Russia can do that to about 95% of the countries in this world. So yes, Russia is a major power. Economically, and with military power. Like, you forgot the military power part. It's kind of crazy how you don't see Russia as one of the strongest powers in the world, considering that we're trying to get everybody to dogpile on Russia. We're trying to get the whole NATO to dogpile on Russia. Then they're trying to get us, America, hop on Russia. Like, you telling me that we need all these people to take down somebody that's not a superpower? Like, you gotta make it, bro. Make it make sense, man. Oh.
Fair. When I said don't buy oil, they didn't buy oil, but they had no money, and Israel would have never been attacked. It is zero chance. And again, I said to Vladimir Putin, I said, don't do it. You can't do it, Vladimir. You do it, it's going to be a bad day. You cannot do it. And I told him things that what I do, and he said, no way. And I said, way. And it's the last time we ever had the conversation. He would never have done. I got along well with him. I hope to get along well with him again. Getting along well with them is a good thing.
Yeah, I just kind of was going into that point about Russia's GDP, and I mean, what do you expect? Russia's population is half the size of the United States,
bruh. So you talking about GDP is
almost irrelevant,
bro. Technology wise. Weaponry, what, bro?
They're still on par with us in every other strategic.
Their missile defense system could hit us.
Category, I mean.
Their missile system could hit us 20 times over if they wanted to.
With those hypersonic missiles,
bro, that go right, bro. Like, most missiles kind of gotta, like, when they, I guess, shoot them, they kind of gotta go over a certain pole.
Yeah.
Well, they got one that can go the opposite pole, and our defense system usually only guards for one pole, which I think is the north one.
Along well with Kim Jong-un.
That's some shit.
When I met with President Obama just before entering, it's a sort of a ritual, and I sat down with him and we talked. It was supposed to be for a very short period of time. It turned out to be a long period of time. I said, what's the biggest problem? He said, North Korea. I had that problem worked out very quickly. It was nasty at the beginning with Rocket Man and, all the different things. Yeah. But all of a sudden I got a call.
With some epic tweets, by the way.
Yeah, they were epic everything. He said that he has a red button on his desk. I said, I have a red button on my desk too, but my red button is much bigger and my red button works. And then I called him Little Rocket Man of Little Rocket Man. Anyway, here's the bottom line. All of a sudden, I got a call from them, and they said they want to meet. They want to meet me, and we met. Yeah. As you remember, we met in Singapore. We met also in Vietnam, and I got along with them great. We were in no danger. But President Obama thought we were going to end up in a war, a nuclear war with him. And let me tell you, he's got a lot of nuclear stuff. He's got plenty of nuclear. He can do plenty of damage.
So yes, I mean, it's because. People like
anybody who says Russia ain't a major power or one of the superpowers.
Because that's what I just don't get that.
I'm like, you ain't never just said that about big dog Russia, bro. Like, I'm all America. I love America. America over Russia any day, but we gotta give respect where it's due, though.
Like, come on now. We ain't talking about these niggas for no reason.
Oh God, bro. There's only 2 countries in the world we're afraid of, and that's China and Russia. We gotta pay these.
The world clearly respects these niggas,
bro. Every African country ready to line with these niggas. So of course they're a superpower.
Like Kim Jong-un, their response to strength.
Oh man, we got some never Trumpers.
He and I had a good relationship. Remember I met him and we walked onto his land. Nobody ever walked onto his land before. I walked onto. I wouldn't say. Let's bring up Secret Service again. I wouldn't say they were thrilled when I did that. I walked onto his land, and it was an amazing period. But we were not in danger with him because of me. I always say that we have enemies on the outside and we have enemies on the inside. We have some really bad people in our government and people that are controlling of the people. I mean, I'd mention names, but I really don't want to give them the credit. But we have some really bad, and I say they're more dangerous than Russia and China. If you have a smart president, a president that gets it, we are not in danger from those countries because they need us and they need our help. I mean, we forced Obama, if you think about it, Obama and Biden, and Bush to a certain extent, in all fairness, forced Russia and China together. And if you're a history student, the first thing you learn is you cannot let Russia and China align. But then they also got, if you take a look, Iran, and they have North Korea. That's, they call it the axis of evil. In the old days, you had the axis of evil. Here we have a modern day axis of evil.
Oh, man,
These are
on fire tonight.
Powerful countries, very heavy nuclear, which is the biggest threat. Yeah. You know, the biggest threat is not global warming, where the ocean's going to rise 1/8 of an inch over the next 400 years. And you'll have more oceanfront property, right? The biggest.
I really do need to go back on that Tucker Carlson episode where he was with that Asian dude, and he just debunked, he debunked climate change. He low-key debunked the entire thing, and it was just masterful how he did it, because I'm like, yo, this shit is a scam, goddammit. Like, man, we've been tricked.
The biggest threat is not that. The biggest threat is nuclear warming. And flood us all. Because we have 5 countries now that have significant nuclear power, and we have to not allow anything to happen with stupid people like Biden. You know, Biden did something with Russia. There was no chance of him ever going in. And when I left, and then after I left, they started forming big armies on the border with Ukraine, right? And I looked at that, and I thought he was doing that because Putin's a good negotiator. I thought he was doing that to negotiate. But then Biden started saying such stupid things. For instance, he said that it can be a NATO country. Now, Russia, for as long as there's been NATO, has said we're never going to agree to that. And we go right up front and say that. And we did things and said things through this president with a low IQ, very low IQ. He had a low IQ 30 years ago, by the way, but now he might not even have a IQ at all. There's nothing on the board right now that goes this low. He said things that were so stupid that war would have been. That war had zero chance of happening if I were there. Zero chance. He was saying everything the opposite. Everything the opposite. And it's so sad because many more people have been killed in Ukraine than you read about. You don't read about how bloody it is and how disaster. Sure. Hey, look, just in the 2 armies, you lost 500,000 people. And you know, Ukraine's having a hard time. Ukraine, I don't know if you saw the article recently, and it's true. You don't hear the true story. But if you think about it, Russia's gone, you know, Russia defeated Germany with us, and they defeated Napoleon. You know, they've been around a long time. They're a big fighting force. Yeah. So, and it's very unfair. And Ukraine now.
Yeah, that whole World War II, Russia helping us fight with Stalin and all that. Yeah. There's some hidden history that I'd have to educate y'all on. But that's for another stream, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in here at S.E.T Media. You know, we like to raise the bar on content. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, man. We got 54 y'all in here. I'm about to be right back on. Don't worry. We're about to get into some more stuff. Probably a little bit on either the political or the dating side. You never know. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. This is Set with S.E.T Media. I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace. More to do, goddammit. I'm weak.